This is how Russian emigres boarded the Trans-Siberian Railway during the Russian Revolution. This dramatization from 1965's Dr. Zhivago paints a very different picture from today. The train runs a lot quieter in modern times. For Spring Break 2013, the USC Department of Slavic Languages and Literatures hosted a cultural exchange on the famous Trans-Siberian Railway, which runs from Moscow to the heart of Siberia. We crossed 5 time zones by rail and traveled over 2,600 miles across the Eurasian continent. Over the 3 days on board, we held classes on Russian culture, and Professor Tatiana Akshina coached us on the language.
Как вас зовут?
Меня зовут Jennifer.
Очень приятно, Дженнифер. Кто вы?
Я студенты политика.
Ага, спасибо. Как вас зовут?
Меня зовут Courtney.
Кортни, кто вы?
Я студенты антропологии.
Очень приятно. Как вас зовут?
Меня зовут Alexis.
Кто вы, Алексис?
Я студент театра.
But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Before we departed on the Trans-Siberian Railway, we explored the sights and sounds of Moscow. Everything from publicly televised sermons to the famous Moscow subway system, where you can rub the nose of a Soviet soldier's dog for good luck, as well as checking out the great art seen in the hallways of the metro. And our trip to Moscow would not be complete without a visit to Red Square.
And behold, a fully liberated people on parade.
Red Square was a lot different in 1942, when Russia and the USA were allies against Nazi Germany. It may be home to the Kremlin, but today the whole thing is a big tourist attraction. In fact, in the summer season, Red Square is a favorite destination for world travelers. On our train trip to Siberia, we saw miles of stark but beautiful snowy spring scenery, and that made the search for food a very cold adventure.
We are looking for babushkas to purchase meat and potatoes from, like at the last stop.
The search for food now complete, some interesting political alignments were revealed among the hungry Trojan passengers.
We had one fork between us, and like good communists, we shared and cleaned it. And as far as we know, I think we still have only that one fork.
Yep.
It will perform heroic service
To all
later,
4 of us.
to all 4 of us later tonight.
Our destination is Lake Baikal, near the Siberian city of Irkutsk. It's known as the Paris of Siberia, since many Russian intellectuals and artists were exiled there. While there, we visited an old Cossack fort, turned into an open-air museum.
And they have started it, people. The game of the century is on.
Lake Baikal was frozen during our spring break visit, and the ice is hard enough to hold recess on.
It's like glass. You can see all the individual layers going down.
The study of Siberian ice is seldom covered at USC, but the surface of Lake Baikal is fascinating. The stuff is 3D, and you don't even need special glasses to enjoy it. Lake Baikal is the largest and deepest freshwater body in the world, and as you can see, the Angara River runs freely from the frozen lake.
She's probably better than me.
Winter sports are nearly year-round in Siberia, and the little Russians can ski before they can walk. Even as we studied Russian culture, we had plenty of opportunities to enjoy the local pastimes. And it's hard to beat joy riding on frozen Lake Baikal with your fellow Trojans on a souped-up hovercraft.
I cannot emphasize this enough. We are getting class credit for doing this.